What's up guys, RGT85 here, and today on the channel we have a bit of a different video. This isn't the video that I had planned on doing today. The video that I'm currently working on will probably be uploaded later on this evening, but this is a situation and a topic that I really want to talk about because it's impacting a friend of mine, and I think the whole situation is absolute BS, and it's something that needs more awareness driven to it because it's just not a good situation. It's not a good look for Nintendo. I know some of you guys think I never talk bad about Nintendo, but I guess you don't watch some of these videos because I do talk bad about Nintendo when they do something that I think is royally stupid. And in this situation, this is something that is royally stupid. So we all know that Nintendo and YouTube have had a very interesting relationship, making it hard for a lot of content creators to make Nintendo related videos. There are some bigger channels that would not do Nintendo videos at all because they were not able to monetize those videos. And monetization is a twofold thing. Obviously, if you're taking time and effort to make a video, it would be nice to make money off of that video. But another thing is, when you can't personally monetize that video, YouTube is not going to promote that video. YouTube obviously wants to make money on your videos, much like you would like to make money on your videos. So when your video is unable to be monetized, then YouTube throws it down in the search engines. It doesn't ever promote that video, so you never really get a chance to grow from that video. But of course, Nintendo has changed their stance on YouTube. It used to be you couldn't even use Nintendo first party footage in some of your videos for a certain amount of time, or else that video would get claimed by Nintendo and you would be unable to monetize that video. So that's why if you look at some of my Nintendo Switch reviews when the Switch first came out, if there were first party games, I would use 10 seconds of a clip, then use a still image, or I would bring the camera back to me, and then I would use another 10 seconds because that was a way to get around it. But it really sort of takes you out of the review, I feel. You're not watching a review to watch a person talk, you're watching a review to watch the game, to see what the gameplay is about. But thankfully, Nintendo has changed that policy, and I honestly think that's a very positive thing that Nintendo has done that definitely deserves some credit. Should it have been a situation in the first place? No, but the fact that they realized that this was a problem and then changed that problem, I think is a good sign for Nintendo. And now you're able to use as long of clips as you want without any hesitation and without any problems, or so we thought. Now, of course, there are different segments of YouTube videos. You know, some people do reviews, some people do more in-depth stuff, some people like to do tech stuff. Now, there's a channel that's a buddy of mine called ModernVintageGamer, who you may have seen on the Spawncast, and yes, his channel is pretty big. He has over 175,000 subscribers, but honestly, he deserves that sort of stuff. He's definitely the more tech side of the YouTube stuff, but he makes absolutely fantastic, top-notch videos, much better than the crap we throw up on this channel. Like, he's good. Like, he's actually good. He deserves it. And Modern Vintage Gamer does a lot of videos talking about things like homebrew scenes and to a lesser extent hacking scenes, but he really tends to focus on homebrew stuff. Well, he's been doing homebrew videos for quite a while now on a variety of different systems, and recently he's been getting into the Nintendo Switch homebrew scene, which of course is growing. We've been talking about Switch hacks since 2017 on this channel. People have been hacking the Nintendo Switch and putting different emulators and different ROMs on there and running different programs on there. Now, inherently, yes, when you're talking about hacking, most people just automatically think of piracy, and that's something we're going to talk about later on in the video, but his videos never promoted piracy. His videos were strictly about talking about what is going on within the homebrew scene and what sort of advancements were being made in these homebrew things. Recently, a lot of videos that Modern Vintage Gamer has done on Nintendo Switch homebrew scene have been flagged by Nintendo, and now these videos are not just necessarily unable to be monetized. That's one thing. These videos are actually blocked worldwide, as in you cannot see these videos. These videos do not show up in search engines. These videos do not show up on his channel, and it's absolutely just mind-blowing how this situation came to be. So Modern Vintage Gamer did a video talking about this situation and giving some of his thoughts about it a few days ago, and then since then he's done subsequent updates on Twitter about the situation, and that's pretty much what I want to talk about. I actually reached out to him and said I was interested in doing a video on it. He said, you know, do you go ahead and do it? And honestly, I feel like I need to do it because although his channel is big and my channel is somewhat big, like, I feel like we have different audiences, so people might not, you know, be aware of this situation he's going through, and really just to throw him some sort of shine and show him that the YouTube community and people who watch these sorts of videos support him, because right now all of these videos are blocked worldwide, which means that he's not making any money on these videos. He's not even able to show these videos to an audience. And his theory was that Nintendo of Japan was behind this, and Nintendo of Japan was actually blocking these things. And I think it's a very plausible theory, because back in the day, whenever you would get these claims on your Nintendo videos, it always came from Nintendo of Japan. It never came from Nintendo of America. But obviously the situation has changed a lot since Nintendo has opened up the borders for YouTube, where anyone can just upload Nintendo footage or Nintendo trailers or anything like that and put it on their channel. To me, this says that an actual individual, an actual human being, not a computer, not a sort of program that's looking for this footage, actually had to watch his videos and then strike those videos. He actually appealed these strikes as well because of fair use, of course, and his videos were denied the appeal. So now these videos are blocked worldwide, and he's threatened with copyright strikes on his channel. And once you start talking about copyright strikes on your channel, that will absolutely sink your channel. Now, I know what you're saying to yourself, well, can't he just make other videos? Can't he just, work his way around this? And, different channels do things very differently. Someone like me, I upload very, very frequently. I upload sometimes a couple videos a day, whereas his videos are much, more drawn out. His videos are much more tech-based, and it actually requires a lot of research and a lot of time and a lot of effort to put into these videos. So he's only making, 1 or 2 videos a week. So cutting into that revenue, cutting into that exposure, it's not even necessarily about revenue. It's just about exposure. That will start to sink those videos, and it's just absolute BS. He's not making tutorials on how to hack your Nintendo Switch. He's not advocating piracy on the Nintendo Switch. He is simply showing off these homebrew things that have been done. And yes, when you're talking about homebrew things, of course you're talking about emulators and ROMs sometimes. And he did show certain games running on emulators and ROMs on the Nintendo Switch. But if you own that game, that's that whole sort of gray area with emulators and ROMs where, oh, well, if you own the game, can't you show this game off? And of course, a lot of these games like Super Mario 64 that he would show off are clearly games that he owns. He even shows it in his video. Like I said, that video is in the description box down below. So I don't really understand this notion of attacking a YouTuber who is simply showing off what is going on in the homebrew scene. You also have to look at the other side of the coin, which is where homebrew can often lead to piracy. And unfortunately, piracy is something that affects a lot of video game companies, and it's something that I understand why they would want to protect this. But the fact that he's not showing how to pirate these things, he is simply showing what is going on within the scene, I think that makes it a completely different thing. Piracy is, of course, a problem in video games. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Companies obviously want to protect their intellectual property, they want to protect their games, and they want to make game sales. It's sort of how the video game industry works. But the fact that these videos aren't necessarily promoting any sort of piracy or anything like that just goes to show you that I don't understand why this is even an issue. The fact that these videos were claimed, the fact that it seems like an actual individual from Nintendo of Japan had to go in and manually claim these videos and then override the appeal process and say, no, you are not within the right to show the fair use of this, is really damaging. It's not even like all of the Switch videos got necessarily hit. It was only ones that showed first-party Nintendo footage. So it's just a really strange situation, and it's a really shitty situation for Modern Vintage Gamer. A lot of those videos did very, very well for his channel. A lot of those videos were some of the most viewed videos on his channel. So to have those videos just stricken away from you, to have those videos blocked worldwide, is very damaging to a channel. YouTube is a very strange place, especially if you're a content creator who's doing this either part-time or full-time. Imagine going to a job, you get a new job, and you go into the job on day one and you say, all right, today's my first day. And they're like, okay, well, you know what? There's things you can and there's things you can't do at your new job. And it's like, okay, well, what can I do and what can't I do? Oh, we can't tell you. What do you mean you can't tell me? Oh, we can't tell you. You just got to figure it out on your own. And that's pretty much how YouTube is. You really don't know what you can and can't do in certain situations until something catastrophic like this happens to your channel. So really, I just wanted to raise awareness on this subject because obviously Nintendo likes to protect their intellectual properties. We've seen people, that were hacking the NES Classic and promoting these services get hit with lawsuits. We've seen ROM websites that were, having Nintendo ROMs get hit with lawsuits. A lot of ROM websites have have closed down because of that. We've seen people that were hacking Nintendo Switches and then getting subsequent lawsuits. But something like this is just completely different in my opinion. It's not something that's inherently bad. Showing off what the homebrew of a system is not an inherently bad thing. And the fact that his channel is having to deal with all this nonsense is just absolutely ridiculous to me. So like I said, I have a link in the description box down below to his video talking about the situation. And since then, he has done things like update his stuff via Twitter and talking about it. But it's just something that I really wanted to raise awareness about and just show you guys how crazy things can actually be. Now, do you think this situation is right? Do you think Nintendo is in the right with this situation to be stopping homebrew related videos on the Nintendo Switch? Or do you think Nintendo is just sort of shoving their weight around and being ridiculous in this situation like I tend to think with this situation? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Like I said, this isn't even the video I had planned for today. There will be another video later on the channel, more than likely, that I've actually been working on, but it's just something that, you know, it pisses me off. So go show ModernVintageGamer some love, subscribe to his channel. He does absolutely excellent content, and he deserves way more subs than he has. He deserves more subs than me. There's some channels where I'm like, oh, you don't deserve all the subs, but this dude deserves way more subs than me. He does absolutely top-notch work. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Check out other videos on the channel, and if anything happens with this situation further, I will let you guys know. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.